Hello friends, welcome to the Maybe Investor educational video series. How are you doing? I hope you're having great time trading in the markets. In this time of lockdown and economic shutdown, stocks have crashed and are showing downtrending moves on longer time frame, right? So generally we talk about trend following and buying stocks which are in great uptrends in the long-term charts, right? So this is the normal way which any layman, technical follower, or just any investor and trader are taught that they should follow the trend, right? But in this time when the stocks have crashed and most of the charts are showing downtrending trend, how to decide which stocks to buy, and is it really worth thinking that way? Of course it is. And knows if you know the right ways to buy stocks, when they are at bottoms, when they are trading cheap, it can give you great results. So today we are going to talk about that, how to do bottom fishing. Okay, how to buy stocks after big crashes and buy them at cheap prices. It can give you great rewards. So you cannot just buy any stock which has crashed and is trading cheap. That can kill you, right? That can give you big drawdowns. What you can do, you can follow certain well-defined methods, again discipline, and identify the stocks which are qualifying based on that well-defined method. So what are the ways to buy stocks cheap? Here they are. Okay, so let's talk about what could be your standard method, which includes different ways to buy stocks at cheap prices. Okay, so you have to look for chart patterns. Chart patterns are a little bit difficult for beginners, and many people just don't want to find out patterns just because of the sheer subjectivity it comes with. It's not like any other normal technical indicator based on which you can just see some number and see some crisscross lines and decide to buy stocks, right? So chart patterns are a bit subjective, but if you can master them, they are the best friend you have as a trader and as an investor. So it's time, and this coronavirus must inspire you to learn these chart patterns because they can give you great rewards. Really, the big trades can be initiated based on the patterns. So chart patterns you have to look for, and then there is another one called positive divergences in the indicators. We have already talked in another video about divergences in indicators like RSI and other oscillators. So positive divergence phenomena happening at really strong support levels in the stock chart is also a very good indication for buying stocks. And third one is volume. Volume is the kingmaker. Okay, you should never forget volume. So combining volume with the other two methods, chart patterns or positive divergence, or all three of them, can give you great results in your investments. So try to learn all these three, and best way is to combine all these three things together. Okay, and I'm going to show you examples. We are not going to talk about theoretical stuffs about any of these patterns and all that. I will leave for you to Google. You already know the chart pattern names now. You can just go and Google and see how they look like. I will show you few examples through practical charts right now, okay, so that you see them working, and then you can do further study, theoretical study. All right, so remember, chart patterns are positive divergences and looking for volume in these areas, and apply that with chart pattern or positive divergence, right? Best way is to combine all three. Okay, so let's look at few charts now and examples for all of them, right? Okay, so let me open the Create ME Broker tool where we do our chart analysis, right? Okay, so I have couple of examples for bullish head and shoulder. So let's look at Bharat Forge. Right, so let's delete this one for this line for now. Okay, so bullish head and shoulder is basically, this is the shape you look, it is the reverse of normal head and shoulder. Okay, so here you have one dip, it involves three dips basically. This is first dip, then second dip, and third dip. So second dip, the middle one, which is called the head, is the lowest bottom, and other two are shoulders, which will have little higher bottom, right? So that three dips together in this shape where middle is the lowest, makes the lowest bottom, is called bullish head and shoulder or inverse head and shoulder. Okay, here you have a perfect, bullish head and shoulder in Bharat Forge in the daily chart, right? And you see, you make a neckline joining the intermediate tops, like I have done this red line, and you see that is crossed in this current candle. And okay, you also see with big volume, see the volume here, when it is crossing the neckline, you should see huge volume. And if you see that, tomorrow you buy Bharat Forge, and which we are going to do, right? So bullish head and shoulder has very good bullish implications, and it's the most reliable one of all the patterns you will know. Okay, so you should definitely practice this and try to identify stocks. One more example I can show you for the same bullish head and shoulder. We see this in Motherson Sumi. You see again, first dip, second dip, which is lower than first dip, third dip, okay, and then breakout out of the neckline. You see the volumes when it is crossing or just crossed. In both the occasions, volume is quite high, right? You should look for typically 2 to 3 times average volume. So you see this, there is an average line, orange color line, which is basically showing you the 20-day moving average of the volume and the tower's absolute values of corresponding to each candle, and you see that how they are more than the average. And if you can see here, it is double. See the volume, 50 million versus 24 million average, so that's double of normal average, right? So that's a good breakout. If you see, it dipped after that, okay, and respected the neckline support in this zone, and again going up, right? So you could have bought here after this day, or you could have bought after this dip was done and going to go up again. So after this, on this day also, you could have bought Motherson Sumi. All right, so that's your bullish head and shoulder. And I repeat, this is the most strong, I mean, I would say the strongest one in the patterns. You should definitely master this. Another one is to identify symmetrical triangle. There is another pattern called symmetrical triangle, like as I showed you. So bullish, we look for bullish head and shoulder, or symmetrical triangle reversal pattern, or double triple bottom, or rectangle accumulation. Okay, so we talked about bullish head and shoulder already. Let's look at couple of few symmetrical triangle examples. So let's go to APL Apollo tubes. Right, you see APL Apollo tubes. Here you have to draw two lines. Okay, here when you see falling tops, join that with a trend line. You will see a falling trend line, and then if you also see rising bottoms, also join this bottom and make a trend line, and together it looks like a triangle, right? So this is a symmetrical triangle, and in this, and if the price finally goes out of the bounds out of this triangle. That's the breakout, and it has to go up with again good volume. You can see volume was 223k versus average volume of 62k, right? So that's a significant volume breakout. So volume breakout and with pattern, right? So that's a great combination. You have to look for that. Okay, so this is a symmetrical triangle gives you good reversal signs, and if this kind of breakout happens, so APL Apollo tube, I would buy this next trading day after this type of candle, right? Let's look at one more, Minda Industries. Minda Industries. Here as well, same, falling trend line, rising trend line, kind of making triangle, breakout on this candle. You can say the next one, whenever volume comes big, right? So big volume, again double volume than average, you buy after that. Even the dip has respected there and now going up again. In fact, every pattern breakout, there is an 80% chance that after the breakout it will little bit correct and try to test that breakout. And the biggest confirmation is if that test stops, and that test succeeds basically, so price fall stops right at the breakout point. So this neckline, this line, whatever line we have drawn based on the pattern, if it is respected and price starts to go up again, that's second time it tells you, it screams at you to buy the stock. And that's the best way. Even after confirmation you can buy. In fact, after confirmation, it is a better and safer way to buy the stock. Okay, so that was symmetrical triangle. Now let's look at one example for rectangle. I think rectangle must be clearer to you when you draw a line parallel, one line, flat line, which joins the tops, and if you join the bottom, they are also flat, and it is also coming parallel to the top line, right? If this kind of parallel line is drawn by joining the tops and bottoms, and stock is trading in between like this, that is rectangle. So here in Kalpataru Power we are talking about right now, you can see here, if we zoom here, the price is literally not going anywhere. It's just consolidating between very small, in a very small range, and you can see two parallel lines if you join the tops and bottoms like this, and price gone up after that. Okay, so after this rectangle is broken on up, again volume 444k, average on the breakout date became almost 2 million, right? So that's the breakout. You should buy Kalpataru Power that day or next day, and typically next day here. And after the dip also, it didn't fall much, again going up. Even now you can buy Kalpataru Power. So again, and just a pattern, see the volume on the breakout, great. Okay, so that is rectangle. Double bottom, I have one or two examples for double bottom also. Say a Lupin. See here, so in bullish head and shoulder we talk about 3 dips. In double bottom you talk about 2 dips. So one dip, second dip. More or less, if you see, the two bottoms are around same level, right? This is just a shadow. It actually closed little above that line, so we can presume this is more or less same bottom, right? So price happening, two bottoms, successive bottoms happening almost at the same price level is called double bottom. And what is the breakout point? This line. When in the middle zone it makes a top, and when that top is breached up in the second attempt, so around this area, this candle. Okay, and you can see how volumes are rising in each day. around just before the breakout or after the breakout. So this is a good sign, good reversal sign that lupin wants to stop going down. Now it starts to go up, right? Okay, again you could have bought here, 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 and continue. Same way, so this was double bottom. Same way, if a stock makes 3 bottoms, it will be called triple bottom, right? So those are bottoms. Positive divergences, I think we have already talked about positive divergence, but here what we are talking about, how do you use positive divergence, is not just by finding the positive divergence, but you have to look for very strong support level. Don't buy just because there is a positive divergence. First, find out if the current price level from where stock is trying to bounce up is at a very strong support level or not in the chart. So you have to do a little bit of horizontal, support resistance kind of analysis, or use Fibonacci retracement to find good support levels, support resistance levels. And if a price reversal is happening, okay, on upside at a very strong support level, which you know already, you can use positive divergence to confirm, this reversal, and on the confirmation from the positive divergence you can buy. So let's take an example of, I see bear scrap. Okay, bear scrap, in the weekly chart we saw that. Yeah, so you see here, this is one bottom, second bottom, and the second bottom did a little bit of more, so lower bottom than the previous one. In that, and you see the RSI, this is RSI line, you see this one is definitely higher than the previous bottom, so whereas the price was lower. So this combination is called positive divergence. You should already know that. We have talked about it in the separate dedicated video for divergences. So this kind of phenomena happening at a good support level, I know around this zone 2969, based on my chartical analysis, it is already a good support level. Okay, and now positive divergence happening. When this bottom happened, RSI is showing positive divergence, I would be willing to buy this stock, right? Another one, Gale, maybe in the daily chart. Sorry, not Gale, Bajaj Finance. Sorry, Bajaj Finance. Let's go to daily chart. Sorry, this is FinServ. We have to look for finance now. This one, yeah. Okay, so here you can see first bottom, second bottom is even lower than first bottom, third bottom is even lower than all other two, right? So continuously falling bottom, RSI continuously going up. Every time price makes a bottom, RSI remains up, RSI bottom is remaining up. So this is a very strong positive divergence being shown. Okay, and this here you have seen 3 dips, right? And twice RSI has proven you the positive divergence. This is called double divergence. Double divergence is even better than one divergence. Okay, so double divergence, positive divergence happening at this good support level. I know Bajaj on longer term time frame, this is a good strong price level, okay, where this phenomenon is happening. So I would buy Bajaj Finance for some kind of a reversal. Okay, so that's positive divergence for you. Alright, so these are all the different methods, and you can always look for volume. So remember, bullish head and shoulders, symmetrical triangle reversal pattern, or double triple bottom, or rectangle kind of accumulation happening, price accumulation happening, stock accumulation happening in rectangle formation. Any of these patterns if you see, identify, okay, confirm the breakout with volume. Sometimes with pattern you can also identify positive divergence, especially in bullish head and shoulder and double triple bottom kind of patterns. Okay, So identify the patterns, look for breakouts with volume, and believe me, you will get excellent results and you'll be really happy, because these patterns are going to happen at the bottoms of the chart. So you're going to do bottom fishing. In fact, if you are trying to do bottom fishing, try to look for this kind of patterns, okay? And you'll be able to buy stock. If you see from longer term chart perspective, you'll be able to buy stocks at cheaper prices, really cheap prices, and you're catching the potential uptrends quite early. All right, so that is all for today. Yeah, that was all, and I think it needs more practice from your side. I have given you the cues only. Find out how these patterns look like if you don't know them, right? In Google, find out and try to start practicing from now on. Okay, so that is all for today. Hope you have learned something useful today. We publish our stock selections based on our trading methods in the monthly journal. You know that, right? Feel free to contact if you're interested to take a look at how this journal looks like and what all things it provides, etc. Okay, looking forward to talk about something new next time. Till then, goodbye. Wishing you great time in the market. Enjoy your trading. Okay, to get informed on new videos, it is best to subscribe. You know that everybody uses your YouTube channel, so it is best to subscribe to our channel. The channel name is Mavie Investor. All right, you can visit our website as well, www.mavieinvestor.com. all right, so once again, thank you and have a great time.